Hello.
Welcome to the Maximum Chillage podcast. My name is Chewy Sanchez. With me, as always,
And I am Tiki Mike.
Tiki Mike. As always, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and subscribe to us on iTunes. We're everywhere now. Last week, I said that we were on Facebook. We actually weren't. I just said it, and I never corrected myself.
I didn't even catch that last time.
I said Facebook, and then I made a Facebook. So,
okay.
Like
so
us
now
on,
it's true.
It's true. I'm not lying anymore. You can follow us on Facebook now. I feel like Facebook is a lot better than Twitter for these kind of things, and Instagram. So Instagram, I can tell people, hey, go check us out, but then they have to go to our profile, jump through some hoops, and then actually get to where I want them to go.
Facebook, they don't have to follow links as well, or
you don't have to exit out of the picture and then go to our profile.
Oh, okay.
You can just click the link directly. So it's just like, click this, and you can actually click it, not go to my profile, and then go to it.
All right.
So Facebook's kind of cool. It's harder to get followers on there, so please follow us on there. You're not a Facebook guy, though.
No.
Never
have
have
been.
You've never had one.
Never had one.
You're the only person I know who's never had a Facebook. It's not a weird thing, because I hate Facebook.
No, I think I started to make one time, and started to build a little profile. I don't know if they still have that, but it used to be the thing where you put your likes, and it was just a bunch of little icons of movies
what you
and
want,
bands
what you like,
and shit.
Kind of like MySpace was.
Yeah, kind of like how MySpace had something similar. I didn't follow through with it with adding people and stuff. So
probably still there.
It might still be around. But yeah,
you've never been a social media guy. Period.
No,
I think I had to.
I jumped on
to make
things
stuff
very late.
I
jumped on MySpace late. I jumped on Instagram late.
Because of that, I've never been comfy with you on there.
But you're always telling me to make them when the new one comes.
Yeah, and then we had a friend that I used to push to make the Twitter. And then when they finally made a Twitter, I was like, oh, fuck, I messed up. This guy should not have made a Twitter. He sucks. So, that leads us to our first thing I want to talk about. Twitter has evolved from 140 characters to 280 characters, and I hate it.
Well, yeah, I don't understand why. I mean, the niche is getting a very intelligent thought into that space
characters.
of 140 characters. I don't want to see a full pace. Yeah,
it's an art.
I mean, not a full pace, a full post. I don't want to see somebody's full post on Twitter. The whole point is just random thoughts. Like, hey, here's my thought on this. It's a pretty smart thought. It's a funny thought, or it's an intriguing thought. And I made this in 140 characters. That is an art.
Yeah, and I just don't like it, because now I see big old paragraphs of things, and I'm not going to read a big old paragraph when I go on Twitter.
I don't want to see somebody's feelings in paragraph form.
That's what Facebook's for.
Yeah.
Have you ever been on Facebook?
No.
Dude, that place is like every social media is they do different things on. They really do. Twitter, everybody's funny. Facebook, everybody's crying. Legit, everybody's having the worst day of their life on Facebook. Or you're an old person posting blurry pictures. Or sometimes young people post blurry pictures. Have you seen that? That's my biggest pet peeve.
Yeah, no.
It's like these phones have such great capabilities to just make the average person look like a photographer, and it's just a blurry picture that they post on either Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, what have you.
Hey man, they're purists. They want social media that posts the first take. You're being a purist about Twitter with your 140 character limit. They too are being real purists of this is what my first shot looked like. I didn't need to take a second shot. This was good already. This was the best. Yeah, man. So, yeah.
I've always thought that you can read a lot about a person off of what they tweet.
Yeah. Because it's a lot of internal thought.
I feel like some Twitters with some people, they're just incoherent thoughts with just one word and then an exclamation point, like hungry exclamation point. And I've never understood what was their mind frame
to do that.
They're like, fuck, I better tweet that I'm hungry. I better tweet this right now.
Maybe it's a subtweet to people. Maybe their thought is
just a shiesty one. They see their friends are out and they're like, you know what? I was hungry too. I was hungry too.
Just letting people know
son
they're
of a
available
bitch.
for excursions to food places.
That
you know
could
what I'm
be
saying?
too. Yeah, you
Yeah.
know, they're going about it the wrong way.
Yeah,
you could
they
also
are.
just say, "Who's down to get some food?"
Or not even subtext or subtweet people, but actually text the people directly, like, "Hey,
Yeah,
you want to hang out?"
yeah. I mean, I feel like even text is like, I can say, in my day, we used to text. Just not even people aren't even doing that anymore. They're just snapping shit. Snapchat too.
Yeah.
Do you like Snapchat? I know.
I do like Snapchat.
You like it?
Out of all the social medias that I've used, I think that's the one I like the most.
Really?
It's the one I've definitely used the most.
I think Twitter's my favorite social media, and that's why I'm so disturbed that it's 280 characters. And I just hate it when people that I hate are going to have more words to be able to say things. they get to just be on my time. Well, they're not even on my timeline. I just go creep them. I gotta.
Well, why are you doing that?
You just creep
I
people.
imagine you just mute people, right?
Oh, dude, you should see my mute list. It's crazy long. My blocked list is even longer. Sometimes I wonder, why am I still on social media if I blocked everybody? I pretty much blocked and muted everybody, especially if, like, the thing that I hate the most on Facebook is they say people they suggest you should follow, and it's like, I fucking hate this person. Fucking hate this person.
You know, that's just, it's a small town and they have mutual friends that you have. I mean, that's really the only reason that comes up. I would assume.
Yeah. I absolutely hate it. So you're fresh off vacation, dude.
Little bit.
That was a good vacation. A weekend.
It was just the weekend. Honestly, it's almost
That's
like a
what-
regular.
That's what vacations
week.
are to me.
No, well, okay. I had the weekend off, and then.
I'm just talking about your out of town trip, not your
okay.
work time from work off.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess I had a couple days.
So
out
let
of
us know
town.
what you did out of town.
You know, I went with the homie. I went with the homie to L.A. to go see Bayside. You know,
What
got
town was
there
that in?
early. It was in Santa Ana, actually. It was
Shout out to Santa Ana.
Same place, the
The
observatory.
Santa Ana winds.
You know, the Santa Ana winds, you know, they hit a little bit. Not really. It was actually a little chilly. But, I mean, not too chilly.
I really
It's
like
fucking
that
Southern
venue, the
California.
observatory.
Dude, the inside is weird. We didn't go into the inside.
I took a little peek-see. Is it kind of
did
like?
you?
Is it kind of like an amphitheater? Kind of.
It is.
Yeah.
It's so weird because it's like standing amphitheater, and then there's the catwalk up above that people can watch too. And definitely there's a good space barricade between the stage and people, and they always have people standing in that space, you know,
To
security
catch the
guards.
crowd surfers.
Yeah, because you know, they can't stage dive, so they go from that amphitheater little setup and they stage dive off of that into the crowd. And
That's dangerous.
Yeah, because the floor also is just like pavement.
Ugh.
It's just it like they didn't pour anything there. They just kept it the fucking parking lot that used to be there apparently. And yeah, but there's like 2-3 bars there. It's just
Well, I remember the bars. I remember the beers
yeah.
being $20.
Oh, they weren't that there this time. I didn't buy any, but I
at
checked out the prices. It was just, you know, I think they were competing with the prices that were being served outside in those tents.
Oh yeah.
So
we didn't have a podcast when we went to this thing. We went to a big festival, like my dream festival is what it was, because they had every band that I've ever wanted to see in that day. I remember when I showed Michael the little flyer. He's like, "Is this real?"
yeah.
It didn't seem like it could be real.
Like some of the bands,
It was
didn't seem
AFI.
like they would be playing together.
Alkaline Trio, Fiddlar, Tiger's Jaw, and
Was Tiger's Jaw there?
yeah, I watched Tiger's Jaw before I saw AFI. I had to take off.
I don't even remember that.
You didn't
I
watch
was
them.
just
You wanted to
going
see
I was
AFI.
just trying to get close to AFI.
Yeah, you were trying to. You're like, I'm not gonna watch them, and
okay.
I watched them half set.
Oh, okay.
Choking Victim was there. If you're not
Choking
familiar
Victim.
with Choking Victim,
Yeah.
they're pretty cool. It was a dream thing, and we were in Santa Ana at a festival. I hate festivals, and I also I hate shows now. Is what I wanted to
Shows.
talk about.
Yeah,
I don't like them.
yeah.
I'm just too old.
Yeah,
The last show we went to go see 4 Years Strong.
yeah.
And I was like, I don't give a fuck about who's playing before. I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to eat my tater tots, and I'm going to drink my beer. And then when it's time for the show, I'm going to go stand in the back, and have my arms crossed the whole time.
Yeah,
And
well, you know,
that's just-
I mean, it
I mean,
happens.
I got into it for one song, just like
yeah,
one song that I wanted to I was like, you know what? I just want to sing this one. I'm going to get up there. I'll deal with all the sweaty kids. And you know what it is? It's that they're all kids.
Well,
we're getting older.
That show though wasn't as bad.
We've been
I've been to shows where it's like,
kids.
oh shit, I'm like one of the oldest people here. That's always a weird experience.
You know what I hate?
4 Year Strong had been around for a long time, so they had a fan base that was older than us even.
Yeah.
And they were all represented there. So I didn't feel weird at that show, but I have felt weird at other shows where it's just like...
Do you remember seeing the old people at the shows and you're like, dude, they're old. They were probably our age.
Dude, when I saw... I felt so bad. You know, speaking of like bands that have been around a long time and they would have an older fan base, when Jello Biafra came and...
Of the
Dead Kennedys, he came and I saw this show, and you know I saw this group, you know, doing circle pitting and shit, and then I saw this old man, and he's actually not that old. I mean, he had white hair and stuff, but he was just like in a nice dress shirt and slacks, and you know, he probably saw the Dead Kennedys when they were around back then, you know, and I saw him like try to get into this circle pit. I mean, this guy is at least in his, you know, in his late 50s, early 60s. So again, not like geriatric, but he was he was pretty old, and he was also out of shape. He was a little heavy, and he looks like he works in an office, or you know, his lawyer just went straight to that show. He tried to get into that pit, and I saw him like just throwing jabs, like jabs, and like almost kind of running in place. He wasn't, you know, involved in the circle pit. He was running in place and throwing jabs and trying to get close to people, and everybody just stopped circle pitting. And I think it was because they didn't want to hurt him. They didn't want to be around him. They weirded him out. Any of those, you know, possibilities, and they just separated from him, and then he kind of just went back to the back and watched the rest of the show there. And I know that eventually, if I don't make the conscious decision to stop going to shows, that would be me not doing the weird throwing jabs, but just being weird in that setting. I think
I haven't made that decision yet whether or not I'm not going to go to shows. I think that'll just happen naturally, where you're gonna be like, seen them, or they're not worth seeing, or that's not worth $20. Yeah. But I'm getting there. I'm definitely getting there. Unless it's like a super group, which we'll get, not super group, but crazy big, which the next day you saw somebody crazy big. What was the difference between that show and that show? And tell them who it was, and then let them know the difference in pace and everything. The very next
day, we were going to the Vina Robles amphitheater,
which is like a 4-hour gap, is what I realized later.
Yeah,
I didn't think. I thought that was going to be in like Hollywood Bowl or something.
No.
Then I saw that Nestor. Shout out to Nestor. I'm dropping your name.
Yeah,
I saw he posted that he was in Vina Robles, which is Paso Robles. I was like, that's like 4 or 5 hours away from Santa Ana.
No, it didn't make any sense. But, you know, it was cool. I had the day off, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And, you know, that is only 2 hours and 20 minutes away from where we live.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, it'll be easy to drive home after that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, yeah, you know, we woke up the day after Bayside, had some breakfast, you know.
So how was Bayside, though?
Dude, actually, they were really good.
I like their acoustic stuff.
Like, actually, that's my least favorite of their stuff.
That's the only thing I like.
No, I want to say... from what I remembered of Bayside, because it had been a while since I'd listened to them, and I tried not to listen to them before the show, I actually appreciated them so much more this time. They did the whole Walking Wounded album.
Mm-hmm.
It's their 10-year anniversary for that album.
Reunion show.
Yeah, so
anniversary show.
And it's their first one that they've done like that. They have older albums. They explained that. I don't know. I can't remember what they were explaining.
For our generation, mostly?
Yeah, that's definitely a thing for our
generation. They didn't do that back then?
I feel like they did.
You think so?
I don't know. Yeah.
I just started seeing them with the bands that we liked, doing 10-year anniversary albums, doing the full album in its entirety, and I was like, wow, that's cool.
Well, you see, I don't know if
I think Newfound Glory did it first.
Yeah, well, I mean, that might have been the first one you know.
That I knew of, yeah.
I mean, I know Converge has always done stuff like that, too. Like, I don't know if they do it on a 10-year anniversary, but sometimes they'll have a tour that is just the, you know, Jane Doe album, or... you know, the next... Actually, they've done it, too, where they'll have, like, a 3-night show, and the first night's Jane Doe, the second night's No Heroes, and so on, you know.
Those are so cool because those albums are classic usually, and you usually like them in their entirety.
Yeah, and
you don't want to hear the songs broken
like
up.
hearing them in that order too.
That order is very special. Yeah. It's a very special order. They arranged it that way, the way it's supposed to be,
that they intended for people to hear.
And you hear it in its entirety, and it's like, fuck, I know exactly what's coming up next.
And you know, when you were a kid and you were listening to like Newfound Glory or some band like that, you know, you knew the song front to back. You sung along the whole album. Yeah. So when you see it live, like that crowd was so into it for Bayside. Like so many of those people knew every fucking song and they sung it front to back the whole time. And it was crazy. It was actually really good. Also, one of the opening bands I never heard before, Western Divide. I actually ended up really liking them. I think they're a new band. I tried to look for their shit. It's so hard to find, but you can find their YouTube page, and their songs literally have like 18 views, 40 views, 30 views.
Are they from
I think
Santa Ana, probably?
They're probably from that area, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're just brand new or if they're just completely unknown, but they opened the show, and they actually have a really cool sound. It's... I suggest checking out Western Divide. They have a Bandcamp if you can't find their YouTube.
There's a music suggestion for you here.
Yeah. So
So the next day you went to Vina Robles.
Next day, you know, we
let them know who you saw.
LA, you know, we hung around LA a little bit.
Did you?
And then, you know, went to Little Tokyo. That's where this hat came from.
He's wearing
Japangelis.
He's wearing a Japanese dad hat.
It's from Little Tokyo. They had a really cool little shop.
What does it say?
What
does it say?
Says Little Tokyo.
Oh, nice.
And on the side just says Japangelis.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, it's just a cool little shop if you're ever in the area, because apparently they took down their site because they want people to go into the store. Whatever. Anyway, so we're like, oh shit, we got to leave. You know, I wanted to explore a little bit more in LA, but we
4
just
or
had,
5 hour drive.
Yeah, we had a 4-hour drive to the show. We were going to go see Morrissey, and so we went to go see Morrissey. We got there super early though. It was like 4:50, and it's a little chilly in that area. It's like, it's all open vineyards, and so the wind is just right there. You still get a little bit of coastal breeze coming in, I assume.
You should have gone to Firestone Walker Brewery.
That would have been cool. Yeah, but then I probably would have been too buzzed to
drive home.
To just drive to the to the actual show. But yeah, so we got there. There was already a line forming. So the amphitheater is outside. It's a little cold. Nestor saw somebody that he knew on tour from a different city, so we ended up hanging out with him. So 6 o'clock is when the doors open, right? So we got some time, talked to people in the line, whatever. Got in. Now the show wasn't supposed to start till 7:30. So then we get to the stage, but we're like, oh, we'll get as close as we can. We'll just, wait. It's an hour and a half, whatever. It's cold, man. It's starting to get real cold. But that wasn't the big problem. It was just antsy. Everybody was just anxious to
Was there an opening act?
There wasn't.
Okay.
So
what time did he go on?
7:30 rolls around.
Okay.
The songs are playing, before the show.
The
banners
whole thing?
there. Yeah.
So when we saw him before?
No, no video. It was just a projection of his current album that just came out. That's what this tour is supposed to be more about, is the current album. So we're there, we're waiting, and it's just getting a little bit long. Earlier we heard, the band, playing sound check, and I was like, that sounds beautiful. Like, that's great, So we're there, and then 8 o'clock rolls around, and it's just like, oh shit, let's get this started.
It's cold.
It's cold. People are shouting Morrissey in between songs, because every time the song stops before the next one starts, they think that it's gonna start. And then it's about 8:15, and a lady comes out.
He's not here.
A paper that says, "We are sorry to inform you that this show has been postponed to a later date in 2018 to be determined due to a technical problem with the stage heater."
Wow. Are you lying?
I'm not lying, dude.
Remember
I experienced the Morrissey cancellation.
Remember when we were watching him?
Yeah.
The girls, we were by some Morrissey super fans. They're like, he's going to cancel. I mean, I don't even know why we're here. They're like, I don't even know why we showed up. He's going to cancel. Dude. I was like, really? She's like, he cancels every show. I was like, God. What? He's like, yeah, he cancels like every show.
You know, I had always heard the myth, but I was like, no. He's not going to bring PETA here, passing out Paul McCartney CDs and vegan starter kits before the show, make the venue sell only black bean burgers and jackfruit tacos and all this shit. Have 2,500 people here waiting for him, and then...
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, dude. I know the fool has medical problems. I know.
Well, I mean, the guy has cancer, dude.
No, it's in remission from what I understand.
All right.
So, the guy could have put on a fucking jacket. We were out in the same weather, is what I'm saying. Maybe that would have restricted him from tearing off his shirt.
I was wondering why no pictures were posted by Nestor.
No, yes.
He's a heavy Instagram guy. And I'm like, well, that's weird. No, he's just trying to be that cool. It's like, yeah, I went and saw Morrissey, but I didn't post any pictures. And he would have had one up on me because I posted a picture of him.
Yeah.
No, that's ugly. So what was the reaction like when he...
Oh, everybody was just disappointed. Everybody kind of stood around looking at each other.
Everybody made the same noise.
No, dude, we like... Everybody like looked at each other and was like, wait, what'd she say? Because she dipped real quick. She did not stay on there.
Oh, I'm sure she dipped.
Oh, man, she dipped.
Technical difficulties, but we're back. So you're talking about how she dipped? And
yeah, she just dipped, and everybody was just dumbfounded and just staring at each other and saying, what did she say? How do we get our money back?
Did you get your money back?
I haven't gone on the site, but from what I think that she said about it, I think I go to the amphitheater site, and then I can either get my money back or use the ticket for the further date to be determined in 2018. But yeah, man, it was a disappointment. It was, but it's also kind of cool in a way that I finally got to experience the notorious Morrissey cancellation.
I feel like experiencing cancellation is just as much a part of a Morrissey experience as actually seeing Morrissey.
Him.
It just sucks, dude, that he was there. He was right behind there. And then they just told him the heater's just not going to work tonight.
I just want to know the conversation of him coming out, just feeling his arm, saying, "Oh, it's a bit chilly," and just
cancel it.
Yeah,
fucking cancel it.
Yeah, man.
And then they're like, "What about the fans?" Fuck them.
Dude, that was actually Nestor's whole thing. We were riding out on this back passage that they led us to.
What time did you get out then?
Like 8:30.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you just get Del Taco at least?
Well, we didn't know the area. We just waited until we got like onto the 41 before we got Taco Bell.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, man. I just remember Nestor just being so disappointed.
Oh,
and
I'm
just
sure,
saying, like,
dude.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care.
No.
And that was just the repeated line throughout the rest of the day.
I mean, he doesn't care, though.
No.
If he's habitually done this his whole career. It's like he gets off on it. He gets off. He's like, show me a picture. It's a picture of all those people. He just gets off on the fact that everybody's. He just once she says it, he just goes. And he cups his hand to his ear and just listens to the and just loves it.
The fucking guy, dude.
But at least you've seen him. We've seen him.
I've seen him.
Oh,
I felt bad. There was people next to us in the crowd, and they were talking, and there was this couple talking to another couple, and she was like, the guy was like in his late 40s, 50s. He's been a Morrissey fan for a long time, and she was just saying to the other couple about how this was a birthday gift to him, that he had never seen him yet, and was talking about their grandchild that they usually take care of, that somebody else was going to have to take him to school in the morning. Hopefully they get him to school on time. So it's like, they don't live here. They rented a hotel. They came here. They bought $40 in alcohol while they're waiting.
Well, I mean, technically you guys wasted a lot of time.
Wasted a lot of time and travel. Yeah. Gas.
You could have stayed in Little Tokyo.
Yeah, I could have stayed in downtown LA, just chilled more and then headed home. But no.
Yeah.
Morrissey, he
do you have any words for Morrissey? Do you have any message for him?
Maybe later, dude. I don't know. I gotta collect those thoughts on Morrissey. It's a very sordid,
One thing that the most particular thing that I think so crazy about him, Morrissey's a militant vegan. I wouldn't say, he's militant.
Yeah.
When he performs somewhere, everything has to be meat free at the venue. You cannot sell burgers. You cannot sell hot dogs.
It was just black bean burgers, falafel wraps, and jackfruit tacos.
How do you feel about jackfruit stuff? Have you had it? I
still haven't had it, dude.
It's not that great. It's not bad.
But
it's like eating savory fruit to me.
Savory fruit?
It's too soft.
Okay, well, I've always heard it described as like a pork taste. I mean, is it? Or
it's not.
Or that it can be made.
It can be made into a pork taste. It could be made into. It's just barbecue sauce, is what it is. They put barbecue sauce on it.
Okay.
I had it for the first time, and I was skeptical. But I was like, I'll try it because I knew it was going to be what I thought it was. Going to be a mushy, savory thing.
I've been meaning to go to.
There's a food truck devoted to it.
Yeah, I know there's a food truck locally that's devoted to it, but there's. I mean, like you can buy the jackfruit yourself at different Asian markets.
Yeah,
and I've been meaning to just go check that out.
It's better to buy it in can.
In can.
Yeah, you're supposed to buy it canned to do stuff like that.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, otherwise it's a lot of preparation.
Okay.
Like you gotta boil it. It's a whole song and dance.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it looks messy when I see the videos of them chopping into it and harvesting the certain parts of it. It's a weird alien looking fruit. But yeah, man.
So how pissed were you though? Like you specifically?
It didn't set in till about halfways back home, where I was like, "That son of a bitch." That son of a bitch.
Dude, I would be pissed because you guys wasted a lot of travel time and it was you had time off from work to do it.
Yeah.
And fuck you, Morrissey. So on the subject of food, a Snapchat story, those great Snapchat stories that I see. Yeah. A Snapchat story reporter, I don't really know what it was. It's probably BuzzFeed. She only ate her favorite childhood meals for 3 days, anything that she liked as a child, which had me think, what would I eat if I had to eat my favorite childhood meals for 3 days? It doesn't have to be junk. It could be whatever you liked. Yeah. It could be a real meal. So for me, pizza, first and foremost. I fell in love with it when I started watching Ninja Turtles. Do you remember Dunkaroos, the little kangaroos that you dunked into the icing?
Dude, I don't remember the actual food. I just remember the commercial with the. I remember I can picture the icon.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it looked like.
They were so good.
Were they a chocolate thing or
vanilla?
Vanilla. Yeah. Weird.
String cheese. I used to eat that like crazy. Over and over. The Ritz crackers and cheese.
Hey, I have a question about string cheese. Did you actually take the time to peel it, or did you eat
always.
it weirdly?
No, you have to. Okay. You have to peel it, and it has to be very fine. It has to be very thin slices. You know that scene in Goodfellas where they're slicing the garlic real small with a razor? Has to be that thin. You have to see through my slice of mozzarella cheese. Loved it. Dinosaur chicken nuggets. I know you haven't eaten meat since you were 5 years old, but did you ever have dinosaur chicken nuggets?
No.
Oh.
We sell them.
They're so bad, but they were good. Costco Polish dogs.
So Polish dog is not the hot dog.
Not the hot dog.
You actually liked the seasoning as a kid.
Yeah. As a kid, Polish dogs were always that. It was probably because my dad liked Polish dogs. So I was like, yeah, my dad likes them. I'm going to like them.
Did you ever load the sauerkraut on it?
No, I don't like sauerkraut.
You don't like sauerkraut?
No, that's weird.
Some people just load that shit on there, dude. I don't know.
I believe you. And McDonald's chicken nuggets. So that's mine.
So 2 chicken nuggets.
Oh, I used to love chicken nuggets.
Now, could you have back then have taken a taste test on Dino chicken nuggets and McDonald's chicken nuggets? They had a different taste, 100%, different seasoning or something?
Different texture.
Oh, okay.
McDonald's has the most crunchy chicken nuggets that there is. I'm not kidding. Like, I think Nestor posted a Snapchat saying, that's crunchy.
I didn't get it, but now I get what he was trying to say.
Yeah, they're super crunchy.
Let me ask you, which one would be your favorite if you still ate meat?
Okay, again,
or when you were a kid.
Again, we don't. Mike and I don't eat meat. I do eat fish, but he doesn't eat meat, so that's why we've been talking a lot about vegan and vegetarian stuff. But I would probably. Arby's is not on that list. That's probably what I would go back and eat now. Arby's sandwiches.
Pastrami?
No. Roast beef with cheddar cheese. It was like nacho cheese almost, dude.
No, I know exactly what cheese you're talking about because I didn't eat meat back then as a kid.
You just get the side of cheese. I thought about you the other day. It was Nacho Day, International Nacho Day. I wish I had to just think that started to be on your list, right? Nachos.
When I was a kid.
Now and when you were a kid.
When I was a kid, not really.
Really?
I mean, yeah, I like nachos. I guess the only nachos I was having when I was a kid was on like Friday night football games, the high school football games. Just the bullshit.
Dude, those
nachos.
are good.
They're good.
Those are crazy good.
You know what though? They didn't. It depended on who was pouring the cheese. You know?
They gotta be heavy-handed.
They gotta be heavy-handed, or even do the double pass.
The double entendre.
You know, pour one handful of chips, one pass.
No.
Second handful of chips, second pass. Not 2 handfuls of chips and do one full pass.
Oh, that's
and
ugly.
all the other ones are
never thought about
not
that.
even connected with the cheese. And so, you get all this cheesy goodness, and then all of a sudden you're left with a bunch of crunchy, just salty tastes where it's just like, I'm already through with my soda. There's nothing to get the salt out. There's 2 more quarters in the game. Nothing to quench the thirst at that point. Yeah, I don't know. Favorite foods as a kid, of course. Yeah, it was pizza. Pizza was definitely there. Honestly, dude, Taco Bell has been a thing for me as a kid. Like, since then. Because,
oh, really?
Because I wasn't eating meat.
Dude,
and so,
I didn't get on to Taco Bell till later in life.
Oh, man, dude. No.
It actually sucked when we were kids. It wasn't very good. They did a whole revamp of, like, what they did.
I know they say that, but I mainly only got bean burritos anyways.
Those are probably pretty
standard. They were exactly the same
pretty
as
standard.
I remember.
Standard bean burrito.
Yeah, dude. I liked them. Bean burritos, sometimes I had the nachos with it. Maybe I did have nachos.
Do you remember at school
when
when they had bean burrito day? Taco Bell bean burrito day?
I never got it.
Oh, dude, they were
Wait,
better.
What are you talking about? Was this in high school?
In grammar school.
We never had that.
Oh, dude, they would come in like a wrapper. They like steamed the whole thing. And they had like extra red sauce and obviously no onions because they're for kids. They had extra red sauce and extra cheese. They're Taco Bell brand. So good. I loved Taco Bell bean burrito day.
Dude, I feel like they were just doing experiments at your school with the milk pouches. And
you didn't have milk pouches?
We didn't have milk pouches.
Okay, so everybody doesn't know what you're talking about then, because I thought everybody had milk pouches.
No, I did see it on a meme not too long ago that it said something about, your school was this when it had milk pouches.
So we had milk pouches and we had a whole seminar. Or what are those called now?
Seminar announcements.
I forget what they were called back then.
Yeah, they didn't call them seminars.
I don't know. The whole thing. We had a whole thing where like these.
A speech in the cafeteria.
Yeah, these. This is a trash can full of cartons, and it was full to the brim. This is a trash can full of the same amount.
Is that why they were doing it?
Yeah, this is a trash can full of the same amount of pouches.
The packaging would,
and you couldn't see them, and everybody's like, "Whoa!" So they were like little, like imagine a pouch, like a little,
like a Capri Sun.
Like a Capri Sun. Imagine a Capri Sun that didn't have the thing for you to stand it up.
Yeah,
and just laid on its side, and you poked it with a straw, and you could drink chocolate milk and regular milk and fat-free milk for the diabetic kids. I thought everybody had those.
No.
Have we talked about this?
No, we've never talked about.
You just thought it was
pouches. Weird? No, I thought it was weird that they did that. So yeah, that and bean burrito day. I never had that in elementary. We lived in the same town.
Did you have teriyaki dunkers?
What the fuck are you talking about?
It was teriyaki beef on white rice.
Wait, I mean, as a cafeteria food?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I didn't really pay attention that much because I was taking sack
you were
lunch.
one of those kids.
Well, because I didn't eat meat, dude. So,
yeah, true.
So I had fucking PB&J like 5 days a week all the time.
I've never been a person to take my lunch anywhere. I've always wanted to be.
Yeah.
I don't have I don't have that in me to do it.
I've
been trying this whole week.
Yeah.
I haven't bought any lunch.
Oh, great.
So I noticed that I spend $10 a day when I eat lunch at work.
$10.
Yeah.
Wow.
What do you eat?
You're eating like a king, dude.
Pretty much. Yeah, I go to the sushi place. I'll go to the Chinese place.
Yeah, man, $10 a day.
It's $10 a day. Yeah. That's what it breaks down to.
I mean, usually my meals are about $6-7, if that.
Where do you go?
Oh, dude, I go to
Popeyes.
Arsenio's.
Oh, that place is expensive. That's a Mexican
Dude,
fast food place.
$6 or $7. You can eat for $6 or $7 there.
That's still expensive when you think about it, though.
It is. Yeah, over time it is. But honestly, you know what? I don't know if I eat lunch all the time, though. Sometimes I just go to the convenience store and grab some bullshit. Like
Even on an 8?
Huh?
Even on an 8-hour shift?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I gotta eat. I have to.
Because I usually either eat before I get to work or eat right after. I feel like
I wish I was. Well, I guess I could do. I gotta do something other than work for that hour. And it's like, what would I do other than eat?
Be really weird. Have your own cross trainers there that you get into and do little speed walks around the building.
That's the thing that people do in downtown Fresno.
Oh, I know it's a thing.
They love that. So, and do you have any other favorite foods that you want to put on there?
What did I say? Pizza, and I talked about Taco
Bean
Bell,
burritos.
But I don't know, man.
Nachos.
Quesadillas, of course.
Oh, those are always good.
That was grilled cheese, of course.
Michael just walked into my room today,
things.
the studio. He's like, "You making grilled cheese?" And I was like,
dude,
"No."
I can smell it. Your neighbors are definitely making grilled cheese. I can smell the American cheese, specifically American cheese, because that's everybody's go-to. Can we talk about that? What do you make on grilled cheese?
Oh, dude, nowadays,
yeah.
I'll use provolone with sourdough bread.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
If I'm gonna make,
you don't mix cheeses.
Sometimes I'll do like a pepper jack with
Pepper
a provolone.
Jack, that's where it's at. Yeah.
With only on sourdough bread though.
Only on sourdough.
No white bread for me.
Sourdough's good to use. I've liked other kinds of bread.
No
though.
wheat bread on a. That's a breaking the rules.
Hey, well, I don't know. You got to get the right kind of wheat bread, and I'm
breaking
being very
the rules.
serious.
If you're making wheat bread, grilled cheese, man.
Get a nice wheat bread, multigrain wheat bread with a slice of tomato, some avocado, some Colby Jack cheese, and pepper jack. Bam, dude. That's fucking.
You know what
done.
else I used to like though?
What's that?
As a kid, that I'm gonna throw on this list: raw broccoli.
Oh, weird.
That was always a thing that I liked. Raw broccoli.
Did you just picture like you were a giant and you were eating trees?
No, maybe.
Because that's what I did.
Nah.
Well,
I
but
think
just with steamed broccoli.
So but with ranch. You did it with the vegetable trays. A whole vegetable tray. I loved vegetable trays when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Especially the
They're
broccoli.
right. Yeah.
Which brings us to our next thing. Twitter exploded yesterday. Like there was all kinds of retweets because everybody was excited about this. Hidden Valley sells ranch in a keg. Which, to me, Hidden Valley isn't even ranch. If you've had Hidden Valley, it tastes like plastic.
No, there's the thing. There's a difference between salad ranch and like the ranch that you're talking about that you like.
Yeah.
Like pizza dunking ranch or
it's just buttermilk ranch.
It's not. They have different mixtures, I think, dude. Because I feel like everybody that makes their own ranch, like
it always tastes good.
Yeah.
If it's homemade, it's good.
Yeah.
If it's from a bottle,
it's bullshit.
It's not good unless it's from the fridge section. Then it's kind of good.
No, I've had some refrigerated ranch that's bullshit too.
So this Hidden Valley Ranch has this keg, like it's much like the little Heineken kegs. It's not a big keg.
Yeah,
it's just like the Heineken. It's
you get it for a party. People can just put their own.
It's a thing for the holidays, is what it is. It's like a way. It's just like the KFC making like swag and Taco Bell making swag. Hidden Valley's like, what the hell could we make? And it's like it's the keg. The keg is $50 and includes a year's supply of ranch. They think a year's supply is 12 bottles.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I feel like if you were a person who used a lot of ranch, then it's not. For me, one bottle's a year's supply of Hidden Valley. It'll expire before. Oh
yeah, okay. I thought you were saying that 12 bottles was not enough for a year. I thought that's what you were trying to say. I was going to say, yeah, you're using way too much ranch if you go through more than 12
I feel
bottles.
like if you're a ranch user, then 12 bottles is a little bit.
Then you need to cut back because you're making some wrong decisions in your life.
So it's $50.
You think that the salad is healthy with that much ranch that you're using.
That's definitely true. And there's another. They also have a ranch fountain that they sell with a tree skirt for Christmas.
Ew,
yeah.
You know how much of a cesspool that it'll be with little.
I've never trusted. I've never trusted food fountains.
Oh man,
never have I ever said this is a good idea.
No,
people have those fudge fountains, and I'm like, nah, I'll pass. As much as I want to stick a marshmallow in there, pass. You know what the weirdest thing about a food fountain is that I've ever seen?
I've seen just a chunk of Rice Krispie floating around.
No, kind of. there was a giant food fountain at a buffet that I went to once, and anybody could just stick anything in there.
Oh, I do remember this story.
It was at Golden Corral.
Yeah.
And you could there was just people there just dicking pretty much dicking down the cheesecake, like full cheesecakes, and just putting it in there. The full thing.
Fucking animals, dude.
I mean, I feel like if you're at a Golden Corral, you're already a certain type of animal.
No. Oh, man. You know, I didn't see this on Twitter, of course, because I haven't really been on Twitter too much.
You were so salty about Morrissey.
No.
I'm surprised I didn't see that on Twitter.
I saw this on Eric Andre's Instagram thing.
Okay.
He's had this whole running joke about legalized ranch and, you know, just his legalized ranch campaign.
He's a weird guy.
And he was so happy to see that they were, you know, putting it in keg form. And
you know what's so weird about Eric Andre? He's such an avant-garde kind of comedy actor.
Yeah.
And he's in the most generic movies. I just saw that he was cast for Lion King, the live adaptation.
Yeah. He's one of the hyenas, I think.
And then he's in another weird one that I see him in where he's acting real normal, which is not normal for him. Internship.
Yeah, and also, he plays normal characters all the time. Back when that show Don't Trust the Bee on Apartment 23, he was a really normal dude that just, like, had a thing for the main girl.
I'd love to be a casting guy, and they're like, I know what you do. Just be fucking normal, and you can be in this show.
Yeah.
I'll give you a paycheck if you're just that guy, the normal guy.
Yeah.
And he just wants to be weird. The weirdest thing that I see him do is the hot girls of Instagram.
The interviews.
Is that what it's called? Hot girls of Instagram?
I think it's called Hot Girls of Instagram.
Where he brings them on his show.
He's trying to be like those. Yeah, go ahead.
He'll bring them on his show, and they'll just be girls that are really attractive from Instagram.
They're Instagram models.
And they're expecting a regular interview.
Yeah.
And he just does really weird shit. Like, he'll ask a weird question that's completely just off the wall.
Yeah.
Or just make a loud screeching noise.
I mean, dude, that's pretty much what the Eric Andre show was in the beginning. They've changed the format a little bit. But,
to be less weird?
No, actually more weird, but in a different way. But in the beginning, they had some, like if you can look up the clip where they invite actress Tatiana Ali, the girl that played in Fresh Prince. You know, it's just the best clip in the world. It's the introduction of Doc Chicken. I won't explain that, but just look up interview Tatiana Ali and Eric Andre show. It's an amazing clip. But yeah,
I think I've watched it and I didn't understand why you liked it. I think I judged you.
Dude, yeah, but you're always judgmental, and then you get around to it.
Maybe.
And then, I mean, I don't know how many bands you said were bullshit, and now that
Morrissey.
you like them. Morrissey,
you know
we'll
what?
say Trash Talk Ceremony.
Yeah.
Comadre.
Yeah.
All of those bands.
That's true.
You ended up buying merch from at some point.
Very true. I ended up liking everybody. Not everybody. I hate a lot of things. But so it seems to be. I didn't intend this. This is just this week's weekly wrap up of what's happening is food. The food seems to be the theme today, and
it's November.
It is November.
It's the food month.
With that, Twitter also erupted yesterday because they found out that some families charge cover charges for Thanksgiving dinners. Up to $30 is what people were saying. And I kind of get it.
Oh, I get it.
They're expensive.
So you're saying that they invite all their family members,
but everybody has to pay $30.
Everybody has to pay for it.
Yeah.
Well, I get that if they're having the food catered, I could understand that. I've gone to a Christmas party thing from the department, and
I can understand a department thing because that's not your family.
Well, no, it was going to be at somebody's house, and it was just like usually they would just do like a potluck kind of thing. It wasn't that. It was like, hey, I'm getting this catered from so and so. Can you throw in 15? And it was like, oh, okay, yeah. So
that could be a little awkward for you because you probably didn't get to enjoy everything that was catered.
I didn't get all the good stuff, man. Yeah, why am I paying $15 for sides, man?
Yeah, that's what Thanksgiving is for us, is sides. But I feel like Thanksgiving is expensive.
Yeah.
But if you have the means to go all out and you're spending a lot of money on the dinner, then you probably have the means to cover it. Then you're just being a cheap ass.
Yeah.
If this is a family that's barely struggling to make it, You can buy Stouffer's for $1 a box. You can buy instant mashed potatoes for a bag of potatoes is like $4. Canned corn is 59 cents a thing at Widco or any other.
Or just fucking organize it to where people bring the
Like
plate.
a potluck
you're
style.
like, hey, we need this kind of dish. We need another dessert. Can you bring something like that, either bought or brought or made? And like, hey, you know what? We're missing some sides. I need some of this.
Where do you usually go for Thanksgiving?
Well, it's always at my grandma's house usually, but
So
we haven't really done that in a couple years.
If you, as you get older, I think that's what happens.
No, it's just going to the casino, dude.
Do you know what I did one year?
Getting casino buffet on Thanksgiving.
I don't know if I've talked about this.
I just eat pizza and nachos.
We went to Boston Market one year.
Oh, dude, Boston Market is a great
choice. It's great. It was really sad though. So we went to Boston Market. We're sitting there. My whole family's there, and then there's this poor girl just sitting there by herself who bought herself a turkey dinner.
Oh.
And I was like,
gives an inviter to
I wanted to so bad, but I didn't want my family to be creeped out and be like, when we get back in the car, thanks a lot, Chewie. That was fucking awkward.
Dad, she looks sad. Just where she can overhear it blatantly. Can we invite her to the table?
I felt so bad. No, but dude, if you ever get the chance to go to Boston Market on Thanksgiving,
yeah, I might just pop in there a little early, just
little
check
cornbread,
it out, you know,
little mac and cheese.
Let me peruse some samples first.
Little cream spinach. That's just bomb.
The cream spinach, it is good.
Oh, cream spinach. That you talk about sides. I can go to that restaurant all day and just have sides.
You see,
it's a sides restaurant.
What I hate though is, my aunt won't be there, and I look forward to this mac and cheese dish like every year. I mean, it's fucking. She's probably spending at least $30 on this mac and cheese with the type of cheese that she's getting, the expensive ass French bread from who the fuck knows where that she's getting to make that layer of crust on top. I mean, all the paprika that goes into it. I don't know, man. I don't know what she seasons it with, but it's almost like slightly spicy, but not really. It's just like good. It's an amazing mac and cheese dish.
Have you ever had the mac and cheese from Costco?
I had a sample size.
So good.
It's actually really good.
So
I was
good,
surprised.
dude.
I guess when you see it, but then I guess
you
when
take
it's
it home,
baked,
you
and,
bake it up.
Yeah.
If you have a chance this holiday season, go to Costco, buy yourself some ready-made mac and cheese. It's in the deli section. It's like $11, but it serves like five people.
It's by weight. So
everyone's different.
Some are like $9. It ranges.
All right. Delicious.
Yeah. This really is turning into a food podcast.
I don't mind it at all.
Episode,
I mean,
you're hearing my sexual frustration described in food right now. Just throwing that out there in case you were judging me and I'm aware of it.
All right. So yeah, I'll change pace for a little bit right now.
No, I'm good with it.
So we are a podcast, and as a podcast, I feel like we should talk about other podcasts. And I actually listened to a good podcast this past week. It's LA Times did a special, kind of like Serial. Did you ever hear about Serial? Like crime, true crime kind of thing.
Oh, okay. No.
So they're a podcast who does like true crime stories.
Okay.
This one is it's called Dirty John. It's by the LA Times about a true story that happened in LA about a woman who falls in love with this guy who just wears the same scrubs every day and says he's a doctor.
Oh.
And she's like, oh, okay, we never change it because he's too busy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just always coming on lunch dates and came.
Always in the scrubs.
Yeah.
And he was like this real good-looking guy, they describe him as. And but he had this demeanor to him where, you just meet shiesty people.
Yeah.
And you're like, that guy's fucking shiesty.
Yeah.
So all of her kids were like, hey, Mom, nah, don't do that. He's weird. I mean, he never even changes out of his scrubs. And they're like, she's like, no, he's a busy doctor. And then one of the daughters was like, I'm no doctor, but I know that those things are filthy with blood and piss and vomit, that they would never wear them out.
Yeah, that's the kind of shit that they have to burn before leaving.
Yeah, so it turns out that John is actually a convicted felon, wanted for domestic violence, and he's has some mob ties with his loose mob ties. His dad was in the mob, and he just liked to claim it. But he still had like some connections, and he liked to throw them around. He ended up being
well, that was the first red flag there.
That he would like to brag about mob ties.
Even if he's just a normal doctor dude, and he's just like, my dad was in the mob.
That's how he would say it too. They say he's like, my dad was in the mob. He used to like throw that around.
If anybody ever messes with me, I got some ways. Yeah, that's a red flag right there. Like, he's a weirdo.
Yeah. So this poor lady, she had been married like 4 times already, and she finds a guy, a doctor that she thinks is like a great guy, and they put a tracking. One of the daughters was skeptical of him, put a tracking device. She said he would go up and down the coast. She couldn't figure out what he was doing. He would do that all day. He didn't have his own car.
Yeah.
He would use the mom's car.
This is interesting. Oh, with the mom's car.
And just go up and down the coast to different storage bins, storage locations. I don't think they ever figured out what he was doing. He just go to storage location, probably selling drugs, probably, or...
That, or he's actually trying to bust into those and get some cool-ass shit.
Probably.
I mean, you see one episode of Storage Wars, and you think everything's filled with Hollywood memorabilia.
Great show, by the way. If you've never, shout out to Storage Wars. I myself have wanted to buy some storage lockers after that, and then I realized those are expensive.
No, yeah, I have a coworker. That was one of he always has a lot of side things that he does for money, and because I was wondering, like, how does this fucker afford a new Corvette and a new fucking Charger, and I was just like, I don't see how he can afford that on this kind of salary.
Yeah.
But yeah, he always just fucking hustles outside of work. His whole hobbies are just trying to make money.
Is his insurance?
What?
His job is for insurance, probably? The benefits, probably?
No, it's for his base pay, but he likes to do extra shit. And storage hunting was some of his stuff. He was just like showing me the Rolexes that he found on some, but he said a lot of it was trash, and because he kind of stopped doing it, because some of it was just people hoarding and then putting all that shit there. Because so you pay for that thing, it's now your responsibility to completely empty it. If you leave stuff behind, they charge you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they want to make sure you're not going to just like buy it and then take anything that's good and leave them with the mess and having to clean it up. So you have to get rid of it. And he said that sometimes it was just too much of a hassle doing that, but that he made some good money on it.
You find one Rolex, it's worth 5 trash bins.
Yeah. He's just talking about certain suits that he would find, or the Rolexes, or just some random shit like that. Not so many like crazy, I found this, fucking ruby or some bullshit. But yeah,
I'm always down to make some extra cash. That's always been a thing of mine to do. I used to go to thrift stores and find things to flip them on Craigslist, and I was doing that for a long time. And dude, that's exhausting though. Doing all that kind of shit. Yeah. Posting it and then getting the weird calls from people.
Oh yeah.
I got one time my biggest weird story. I posted the one thing that I'll never post on Craigslist ever again.
Is a phone?
Jordans.
Oh.
A pair of Jordans.
No.
I got solicited sex for a pair of Jordans.
No.
Like the girl's like, "What's up? Like, what's up with those Jordans?" I was like, $150 or whatever I was charging. And she was like, "All right, well, how about you just come over?" And I was like, "What?" And she sent like a selfie. And I was like, "Oh."
Nah, you're going to get robbed on that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But that was still weird.
Yeah.
That was just weird.
It is.
And then I immediately took them off after that. And I'll never, ever try to sell Jordans on Craigslist ever again. But that's a good podcast. Check it out, Dirty John Podcast. It's about 6 episodes. It's a chronological order of what went down with that murder case. I won't tell you who gets killed. Somebody dies. And I think we should review more podcasts on this podcast.
We have that Spreaker app, and I've never actually logged on to it to like check out other podcasts.
I don't have the patience for other people's podcasts.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm driving, I'll want to listen to very specific ones. I've told you that I like the Kevin Smith, Fat Man on Batman, and sometimes I'll listen to God, I can't even remember, Anna Faris.
Oh, she has a podcast?
She has a podcast, but it's literally 30 minutes of this, like in the beginning. Mike, do you know what I did this weekend? I made a delicious chicken cordon bleu. And then you're like, really? It's like, yeah, and I never knew that I could do that. I never knew that I had the capability to make chicken cordon bleu. And then the other person's like, how easy was it? It was so easy because I bought the package from something.com.
Hey, here's the
they
thing,
get
Chewy.
me, dude.
Here's the thing, Chewy. Anybody else, I probably wouldn't find that interesting other than the fact that I know that it's Anna Faris that's describing her experience learning this. It's the idea just that a celebrity has a pretty good head start on podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Base. You know what I mean?
I think a lot of D-list celebrities jumped onto podcasts.
Yeah.
Or C-list. She's probably like C-list.
Yeah.
Because they're like, I'm not going to do anything fantastic with my life. I better jump onto podcasts like Joe Rogan. Very C-list.
Yeah.
Has one of the biggest podcasts in history. Probably the most successful podcast. Because he's like,
Yeah.
he just sits down and talks in front of a mic. And, I mean, look at us. Z-list. And we're over here talking, and people seem to care. And that's what's cool about podcasts. And that's why I want to review a little bit more podcasts. Listen to some. Have you heard any that you've been listening to lately or wanted to listen to?
No.
There's one that's really cool. It's an anti-slut shaming podcast called Guys We Fucked. That one's kind of interesting to listen to sometimes. Just two comedians that talk about just really vulgar stuff. But, so listen to some podcasts. You have any final words today?
Just Morrissey, get your head out of your ass, you know? You're a fantastic musician, and I love so many of your songs so dearly.
Would you say
Which
Morrissey?
is why it hurts so much that you do that.
Would you say Morrissey, get your head out of your ass? Or would you say fans of Morrissey realize that he's going to do it?
You know, because you're right. Right now, it's a 50-50 for me.
It's like...
Because I've only seen him twice, and one he canceled.
So, I mean, people should stop showing up for a couple, and then he'll learn his lesson.
Maybe.
He
just has that pulling power, though.
He's got to have a protest. There's got to be a protest of Morrissey, and I'm starting it right here on the Maximum Chillage podcast. The next few, if you ever... Just don't go to Morrissey shows anymore until he starts showing up. Until next time, goodbye.